Today's question reads, I went through something very similar to what you had to experience, just somehow worse. Yes, it can be worse. It's been almost 2 years and I'm in a much better place. I thought I am. However, recently I've had a significant pullback. My symptoms are idealization of the person who used to be my husband for almost 20 years. Flashbacks of happy moments, happy dreams, thoughts that I will never meet anyone as good as he was, and a huge sense of guilt. Sometimes unbearably huge, for that I was not good enough. I went through this stage once. I came back to my happiness alone. I was not dating. I thought I almost 100% adjusted and was quite happy and balanced most of the time. And now this again. Why is that? Why will I ever be free? Oh, first, I just wish I could give you a great big hug. I can hear that pain in your writing. And I would expect some sense of hopelessness and frustration because it's so hard when we think we've made it. And then something happens where we realize, oh, I'm not quite there yet, huh? So first, that's completely normal. I can't even tell you how many setbacks I've had over the last 12 years. And I bet that if you really pay attention to sort of what's going on in your life or maybe something around you, that you might be able to find something that sort of triggered this. That's often the case. Sometimes it happens when we reach a certain benchmark where we thought we were going to be with that person, and the life that we have now sort of abruptly butts up against the life that we thought we would have at this point. Sometimes it happens when somebody in our life goes through a major transition, marriage or death, and it makes us just sort of think about where we are. 20 years is a long time. That is a significant part of your life. And I'm not surprised at all to hear that those memories are coming up. And I'm also not surprised to hear that you're looking at them through those rose-colored glasses because, well, that's what time often does. We sometimes forget some of the hard parts and we focus only on the good things. And that can be nice, but it can also make it hard because then we don't realize that maybe what we're missing wasn't the full picture. I think this can be a really good time for some yes and practice of, yes, this one memory that you have with them is absolutely amazing. And at the same time, there was this other thing going on in the marriage that made it not sustainable. And both of those things can be true at the same time. And so you can have those positive memories and also recognize that they were memories of something that, for whatever reason, couldn't stay. Now you speak of the guilt, that feeling that you somehow were not enough. And I think that is one of the hardest feelings that so many of us struggle with. Because we tell ourselves that if we had just done more, acted differently, tried harder, go on and on and on, that somehow we could have changed the outcome. And then sometimes we think that the only reason that this happened is because we're somehow lacking, that maybe we are unlovable. But neither of those things is true. Forgive the you of the past. You did the best you could at that time. Now, maybe at this point, you know more, you've learned more, you can do something differently. But the you of then didn't know those things. So cut her some slack. Also, you are enough as you are. You are completely whole and lovable as you are. And you found that person. You said that you found that place where you were happy again. Let that be your hope. Let that be your inspiration. You've reached that place once. You can reach that place again. I think one of the biggest lessons that we all have going through divorce is the recognition and the acceptance of the imperfect human condition. Your ex wasn't perfect. Your marriage wasn't perfect. You are not perfect. But none of that makes any of those things any less valuable, any less worthy. And we don't have to be perfect in order to be loved.